Namaskar, I'm Ashok Vyas, and it is my honor and pleasure to be
Namaskar.
uh, Dr. Sudhir Parekh Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parekh joins us for this week's special edition. And Dr. allow me to begin by requesting you to share. Most of us who are at home, and especially people like you who have been so active in their life all 7 days, how have you reoriented yourself?
Well, I reoriented my life and schedule in such a way that at home also I find no time. I keep myself busy. So I think of course, reading quite a bit, whatever. Then I catch up with some other things, and I talk to my friends, and that way I don't keep less distance. Emotionally, I am close to them, though I'm socially away from them. And of course, I keep myself up to date from the news from the USA as well as from world and India, including India.
Yeah, that is wonderful. That brings me to our today's show, and let us move towards India with respect to the top headlines that you have found arresting your attention. And if I begin by talking about the ordinance passed by Prime Minister in order to offer a kind of safeguard for health workers, talk to us a little bit about your impression on that.
Well, I think when I heard that Prime Minister or Government of India has passed this ordinance to protect the physical as well as emotional protection of the healthcare worker, because they are the frontline warrior against this dangerous virus. And otherwise also, all healthcare any physical, emotional or abuse or verbal abuse towards the healthcare worker, doctors, those who are really helping, putting their lives at, at, at risk and helping the sick people, it should not be tolerated. And I think what Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji has done is excellent. I really commend for his great decision to protect the healthcare worker, because they are the real warrior in this war against the corona.
Absolutely. And Dr. Shab, what we have gathered is the ordinance makes a fine of 5 lakh rupees and 7 years prison if somebody attacks a health worker. Let's just dive deep a little bit in terms of hypothetically thinking or trying to understand what do you think causes such situations. And this has happened at several parts in different states in India. So it is something that probably requires a little bit more multi-layered approach. Probably lack of awareness might also be causing it. What do you think?
Yes, I think it's there are multifactorial thing. Lack of awareness, lack of education, unnecessary. Lack of understanding. Let's put it that way, because even if not even in during this coronavirus situation, but otherwise also in our Indian culture is such that they always blame, if someone gets very sick or someone passes away, the relatives blames the doctor. Or even here also, we witness in our hospitals in the beginning, a couple of weeks ago, when uh, when the patient gets admitted, the sick patient gets admitted in the hospital because of the coronavirus, which is a highly contagious disease. Hospital has a kind of order not to let any relatives to come to the to see the patient.
Sure.
And our I mean, the USC American citizens or American, they understand because they are a little more kind of have more communication or more understanding of the problem. But our Indian diaspora, unfortunately, is being a very emotional. I don't know whether it's our culture or our social culture or social habit. They get emotionally kind of angry at the nurses and angry at the doctors which they had nothing to do with the rules and regulation of the hospital.
So, Dr. Another serious news that has come from India is from Palghar, Maharashtra, where two sadhus of Juna Akhada were lynched. When you were following the news from India, you heard about it. What went through your mind?
Well, I mean, it was very shocking, and it is unacceptable of any situation, because that shows that there's complete breakdown of law and order in Palghar, Maharashtra, and local police, local administrative collectors or district collectors or whoever are in charge. They are responsible for this. Responsible because they're not they're supposed to stop this kind of happening, because they could have escorted those two sadhus wherever they wanted to go, and then they should talk to the local people, those who had whatever doubts they had in their mind, or whatever misconception they had in their mind should have been clarified. And this kind of thing it should never happen and should not happen in the 21st century.
Absolutely, and you probably might have seen some videos that came where one sadhu is holding the arm of one of the policemen, and he's being escorted. His eyes tells you that he is kind of confident that policeman is going to save him, but that didn't happen. Instead, he was let go to be beaten by sticks. So looks like police was aware of what is happening, yet they didn't take proper action.
That's true, and it looks like more like a kind of some kind of pre-planned thing, and but the police officers should not have. They should have helped them, should have prevented this thing to happen, and that they should have arrested the people who did it, and should be punished by law, maximum punishment, and so no other people can do this thing.
Absolutely. So, just staying with this reference a little bit more, now what we have heard is nearly 110 people have been arrested based on the videos, and that action started happening on the part of Maharashtra government after this thing became very big on social media. They have also suspended two police officers, and Maharashtra Chief Minister has in his address on Facebook Live said that this should not be treated as a communal affair. But there is another kind of, I would say, interesting is most of the Indian media have not taken it up as much as they would have taken up if it was a minority who was the victim, is what is another narrative that we hear. Looking at it from the both sides, what would be your impression in terms of the role of media?
Well, I mean, the media should be neutral and should always air or give light to this kind of incidents, because this is nothing to. I mean, media should be nothing to do with any community or color or creed. But this is as a human being, this is wrong.
Absolutely.
And media should make sure highlight this thing and make sure that this kind of inhumane things should not happen, particularly in India, which is very cultured society, a very old, 5,000 years old culture society. In 21st century, it should not happen.
Absolutely, and now there are more details that will come up down the line. Coming back to America, Dr. Suvir Parikh, the way President Trump is working on overcoming the challenge posed by coronavirus. Every day he's addressing press conference, and yesterday or day before yesterday he announced something which appears quite strange in terms of having a 2-month ban even on the legal immigration. Do you think it is necessary? How do you see it is likely to play out?
I think it will play out as a completely political announcement, because 2 months suspension of green card, obtaining green card, has not much meaning to it. And probably in this coronavirus situation, half of the State Department is probably not functioning. So what is what is 2 months will pass by before even anything can happen. So this is typical completely political thing, just to galvanize his own base, who are more nationalistic base voters. And I think this is a pure political announcement, has not much meaning to it or not much meat to it. I would not worry, or no Indian American who are waiting for green card should worry about it.
I think that's a very objective analysis, and I appreciate you for that. And as we move towards the concluding part of today's this week with Padma Shri Dr. Sudhir Parikh, as you share your parting words from today's show, I also want you to share the idea of a step-by-step opening back, and we hear a lot in that direction, be it New York State or America as a whole. How do you see that happening soon, later?
I think now since the curve is going down on the downside, that is a good trend, and the number of deaths are less, number of admissions are less, number of ICU admissions are less, number of intubations are less. It means less number of people are going on ventilator. So all this thing has positive trends. So now what governor or authority should do to make sure that people can keep this social distance, wear the mask in public, keep the personal hygiene, and then they should only open up only essential services or businesses. Non-essential should still close in phase 1, and then they should do more testing, more tracing, and isolate those infected people. And then after 2 weeks, if everything is going in the right direction, then they should open up the other businesses. So so whole opening should take at least 6 weeks time from say whenever they start. So ideally speaking, and that's the only way to do it. If you do otherwise, then virus can bounce back, and then epidemic can be, or pandemic can be worse than what we had in the beginning.
I think that's a fair way of looking at it. And anything that you would like to add as we say bye from today's show?
Well, I would again urge my friends to stay home, keep the social distance, uh, continue your personal hygiene, wear the mask whenever you go out, and follow the instruction of the authority and the guidance. And this is a very dangerous disease. Should not take it lightly. There are too many deaths, and you don't want to be part of that number. So please stay home, be safe. We'll see you next week. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat. God bless America. God bless India. Thank you.